Have you ever dreamed of retiring long before the traditional age of 65, but felt like it was just impossible? I used to feel that way too until I discovered a little-known savings strategy that could make retiring early a reality. Most people think that in order to retire, you have to wait until you qualify for things like Social Security and Medicare later in life. But what if I told you that with some discipline and commitment to a plan, you can say goodbye to the 9-to-5 grind much sooner? Crazy, right? I'm going to let you in on a secret that many financial advisors don't often talk about. There is a savvy savings technique you can use to aggressively build your retirement funds, so you have the freedom to stop working decades before most people. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what this strategy is and how you can implement it in your own life. Are you ready to find out how? Then let's get started. What is considered early retirement? So just what do we consider early retirement anyway? Generally, early retirement refers to leaving your full-time job before you reach the traditional age of 65, which is when you become eligible for Medicare in the US. Goals can vary from some hoping to retire in their 40s all the way to 60s. But there is a whole movement called FIRE, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early, that aims to achieve retirement even earlier, often in their 30s or 40s. To make this extreme goal work requires FIRE followers to save an incredibly high percentage, usually between 50 to 75% of their income each year. No matter if your early retirement dream is to stop working at 50 or 45, the bottom line is it will demand real sacrifices and a strong commitment to packing away money for the future. But as you'll learn, it can absolutely be done if you have the discipline to adopt a savings-focused lifestyle. Determining your early retirement. Number one of the most important things to understand is that retirement is not an age, it's a financial goal. Rather than focusing so much on thinking you need to retire at a specific time, like 55 or 60, it's better to determine the savings number you need to hit. The best way to do this is by creating a monthly retirement budget. Take some time to estimate your expenses in retirement, from housing to food, utilities, healthcare, entertainment, and more. Consider how your spending may change at different stages too, like retiring, active years, and slowing down. Keep in mind, the further out retirement is, the more things may vary. Life brings surprises, for better or worse. So while the number you calculate is a great starting point, be ready to adjust your plan as needed over the long haul to change goals or costs. The key is to focus on your financial number, not just the year. The little-known savings strategy. The secret I'm about to share with you focuses on aggressively maxing out your contributions to tax-advantaged retirement accounts like your 401k and IRA each year. By taking advantage of these types of plans, you're able to grow your money in a tax-deferred way. However, if you retire early, say before age 59.5, you'll face penalties if you withdraw from these retirement funds. That's where what I call a bridge account comes into play. You see, to bridge the gap between your early retirement date and when you can access retirement funds penalty-free, I recommend using a regular brokerage account. Brokerage accounts don't have the same penalties as long as you simply withdraw contributions. So this serves perfectly to tide you over those critical years. And here's another insider tip. Aim to invest in low-cost index funds within your bridge account. These have lower portfolio turnover, which helps minimize capital gains taxes you'll owe. By following this strategy of maxing accounts, bridging with a brokerage, and choosing the right investments, you can set yourself up to retire well before traditional retirement age, even without touching your tax-advantaged savings for as long as possible. The bridge account strategy. The bridge account is vital for filling the financial gap between when you retire early and when you can withdraw from retirement funds penalty-free at 59.5. For example, let's imagine retiring at 55, but not accessing retirement savings until 59.5. That's a time period of about 4.5 years. If your annual spending needs are $50,000 per year, you'd want about $225,000 saved in your bridge. So how do you build it up? Well, after you've contributed the max allowed to your 401k and IRA each year, anything extra should go right into your taxable brokerage account, which serves as your bridge. Index funds and ETFs that keep portfolio turnover low are the best options here. This helps minimize capital gains taxes owed over time. I also highly recommend consulting a fee-only financial advisor as you establish your bridge account. They can help craft an investment strategy tailored to your situation and goals. When done right, a bridge account is the key to retiring early without penalties by filling the gap between leaving work and being able to access retirement fund income tax-free. Taking advantage of compound growth compound interest is like a superpower when you're saving for early retirement. The longer your money is invested, the stronger its potential to grow. Let me show you an example using a compound interest calculator. If you contribute just $200 a month, starting at age 25, and earn a 7% annual average return, after 30 years, your total savings would be over $250,000. Now bump that contribution to $500 a month, keeping the 7% return. At 30 years, the balance balloons to almost $650,000, all from modest monthly sacrifices and letting the compounding magic work its magic. The takeaway? You don't need millions saved to retire. You just need discipline to maximize contributions and let time do the heavy lifting. Strategies like paying off your home early free up more to supercharge your returns. Don't underestimate the power of starting young, contributing consistently, and enjoying compound growth over decades. Stick to a solid plan, and you'll happily retire financially independent years from now. If you really want to achieve early retirement, be prepared to make some sacrifices in your spending today. Cutting back on non-essential costs like eating out, cable streaming subscriptions, trips, and shopping is key. Even reducing those discretionary expenses by just $50 to $100 per month can supercharge your savings. Instead, focus on lower-cost hobbies and social activities that don't require big budgets. The trade-off is well worth it, as your sacrifices now will directly translate into the financial freedom to retire decades earlier than most. Are you willing to make those tough choices? I'm sure some of you have questions like, what if there's a major stock market crash? Isn't relying on investments too risky? And how will you deal with inflation over the long retirement? To address those concerns, it's key to keep 6 months to a year of expenses in an emergency fund. You'll also want to diversify your investments across low-cost mutual funds or ETFs within different sectors to minimize risk. And don't forget, retirement calculators assume a 3 to 4% average inflation rate, so be sure to review your plan and adjust contributions periodically. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed learning about these untraditional strategies for making early retirement possible. Be sure to subscribe for more money tips. Implement what you can to stay consistent, and I know you'll be well on your way. Thanks so much for watching.